shining everywhere I go. You're my heart, you're my soul. I'll be holding you forever, stay with you together. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, I'm feeling that love and roll. You're my heart, you're my soul. That's the only thing I really know. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, I'm feeling that love and roll. You're my heart, you're my soul. That's the only thing I really know. I didn't hear you leave. I wonder how am I still here? And I don't wanna move a thing. It might change my memory. Oh, I am what I am. I do what I want, but I can't hide. And I won't go, I won't sleep, I can't breathe until you're resting here with me. And I won't leave Why'd you have to go and say that? Running out of time now, baby, tell me where's the love we had? I can't take the silence anymore, you gotta set me free. No, I just need an answer, take me from this misery. It's so cold when you leave me alone in the dark, yeah, it's freezing inside of my heart. Baby, I can't wait forever. Oh, can't you see it's now or never? It's so cold when you leave me alone in the dark, yeah, it's freezing inside of my heart. Baby, I can't wait forever. Oh, can't you see it's now or never? So come save me. Just come save me. Baby, I can't wait forever. No, I can't wait. No, I can't wait. Drowning all my feelings, I know I should put the bottle down. Ain't no sign of healing, so I get myself.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened. I can't even blame OBS that time. The whole internet went out in the whole house for like 5 minutes. I don't know. But it seems to be back on now.
No, I just need an answer. Take me from this misery. It's so cold when you leave me alone in the dark. Yeah, it's freezing inside of my heart. Baby, I can't wait forever. Oh, can't you see it's now or never? It's so cold when you leave me alone in the dark. Yeah, it's freezing inside of my heart. Baby, I can't wait forever. Oh, can't you see it's now or never? So come save me. Just come save me. Baby, I can't wait forever. No, I can't wait. No, I can't wait.
In the day, in the night, say it right, say it all. You either got it or you don't. You either stand or you fall. When your will is broken, when it slips from your head, when there's no time for joking, there's a hole in the plan. Oh, you don't mean nothing at all to me. No, you don't mean nothing at all to me. But you got what it takes to set free. Oh, you could mean everything to me. I can't say that I'm not lost and at fault. I can't say that I don't love the light in the dark. I can't say that I don't know that I am alive. And all of what I feel, I can show you tonight, you tonight. Oh, you don't mean nothing at all to me. No, you don't mean nothing at all to me. But you got what it takes to set free. Oh, you could mean everything to me. Oh, you don't mean nothing at all to me. You don't mean nothing at all to me. No, you don't.
It's time for Vic to
Although Saturday stereo plays on Saturday when kids go out and play. I was up in my room, I let the stereo play. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside of my head. It's all inside of me. It's coming over me. It's all inside of me. It's all inside my Click, click, boom. I'm coming down on the stereo. Hit me on the radio. Click, click, boom. I'm coming down with a new style. And you know it's worldwide. Everybody, everybody, come on. Come on, come on. Everybody, come on. Come on, come on. Click, click, boom. Come on, come on. Everybody, come on. Come on, come on. Click, click, boom. Come on, come on. Everybody, come on. Come on, come on. Click, click, boom. Come on, come on. Everybody, come on. Come on, come on. Click, click, boom.
Yeah. Good morning. It's Uncle Lou and VicTube here for you on a Thursday too, which is amazing. How's everyone doing? Vic, how are you? How are we doing today?
Good.
Okay, good. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing, Vic. I'm, of course, happy to hear that. Let's see who's here. Looks like Biggs Mikes is here. B.A., Shay, Yoda T, Alexander, Bulldog JC, Vandy Dandy. The Uncle Lou is here. Okay, that's good. Vic's Tube, Robert, yeah, Brad Pitt, and Jay Shipes, Joshua George. Good to see everybody in here on a Thursday. I don't know what was going on yesterday. There was no day baseball. Can you explain that, Vic?
No day baseball. No, I can't really explain that.
Yeah, I can't either. They normally have day baseball every Wednesday and most Thursdays, and then of course the weekends too. But I mean, I think this is the first Wednesday all season long. There was no day baseball. I think they had one game came on at 4:30, but normally on Wednesdays you got like a couple of games at 12, 1, 2. Anyway, I always look forward to Wednesdays because that's kind of my off day during the week. I don't have any live shows. So I kind of look forward to doing the whole degenerate gambling thing from like noon to midnight. I couldn't really do that yesterday. And I don't know why. I don't know how to get in touch with anybody over at Major League Baseball. But anyway, today there are day games on all day. So starting at, well, what time is this starting now? 12 or 1 or let me see. Hold on and I'll tell you. Relax. It's no big deal. Today's Thursday. All day long. Yeah, 12:40. So you got 12:40, 105, 105, 110, 210, 220, 235, 307. Normally Wednesdays are like that too. But yesterday that was not the case. And it irritated me. Now, it turned out maybe it had been for the best that there was not baseball on all day yesterday because I managed not to lose a bunch of money. So far, so good for this week on the Payloo Revolution. We're up 184. We're up 184. If you'll remember last week, Vic, I won $23, which, of course, is better than losing 23. But now the week before that, I lost 351. So I got some making up to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you had to pay the bookie.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I had to pay the bookie $351. Last week he paid me $23, and halfway through this week I'm up 184. So I'm trying to claw back that 351 I had to send him a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I know what I'm saying too. Yeah, I know exactly. Because contrary to popular belief, well, two things that are contrary to popular belief. Number one, I do know what I'm doing. People always tell me I don't know what I'm doing. I do know what I'm doing. They're like, look at this guy, doesn't know what he's doing. Yes, I do. It may look to the outside world at some points that I don't know what I'm doing, but trust me, I do. That's number one. Number two, and you'll remember this, Vic, from one of my first ever videos. It's still true. It's as true today as it was then, Vic. I do know who I'm messing with. Because that's another one they'll say, this guy didn't know who he's messing with. Yes, I do. I know exactly who I'm messing with at all times. So these people that keep saying that I don't know who I'm messing with, they were wrong 10 years ago when I first brought that up, and they're wrong now. I think that was on one of the first videos I ever made called Things That I Know. You remember those videos called Things That I Know?
Things That I Know, yeah.
Yeah, was one of the things I know is who I'm messing with. But people continue still to this day to tell me that I don't. Which of course I do know who I'm messing with. And what was the other thing I said? Oh, I do know what I'm doing. Yeah. Because all the time people are like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't know who he's messing with. Yeah, I do on both accounts. So that's that on that. What else? Oh, did you get to hear any of the conversation Tuesday night on the call-in show? I know it might have been a little past your bedtime when we got to talking about aliens and the universe and if aliens exist and if they've been here and all that.
No.
Because I'd love to get your take on this.
Yeah, I didn't watch that part.
Yeah, so we were eating dinner a few nights ago, and I don't even know how this came up, but we were eating dinner and the whole aliens thing came up. And of course, I don't think we have any aliens here. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe the Area 51 theories that we have a spacecraft or a dead alien body or any of that. Like, I don't believe any of that. In fact, I don't think any aliens have ever been here. And when I say aliens, I mean any other form of intelligent life that is not earthbound.
Right, not from Earth, so from another planet.
Or another something, but not from here.
Right.
I just don't believe that. However, I do believe that the universe is way too big and way too old for us to be the only thing in it. And one of the reasons I refuse to believe that we're the only sort of form of intelligent life anywhere in the universe is because we are fucking dumb as a species, as like a race of people, whatever, the human race. Are there some smart people sprinkled around? Yeah, like 10 throughout history that have made most of the major breakthroughs that have got us to where we're at now. You know, like 10 Elon Musks over the course of the last, million years, basically. You know, you got the Elon Musk that invented fire, the Elon Musk that invented the wheel, the Elon Musk that invented, I guess, gunpowder, the Elon Musk that invented the assembly line and like manufacturing, the Elon Musk that invented like the digital microchip, and then Elon Musk. Like, but in general, we're pretty fucking dumb. And so if the universe is anywhere near as big as they say that it is, and anywhere near as old as they say that it is, I refuse to believe that human beings are the absolute best that the entire universe has to offer. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I do believe that there has to be life, somewhere else, besides here, in intelligent life. I mean,
Yeah,
that's right. That would be disappointing if we're the best that the universe has to offer. That would be really disappointing. So
yeah. Now I normally don't do this, but I'm gonna do it because I know they wouldn't mind. So when this came up at my house at dinner the other night, I couldn't get it off my mind. So like immediately after dinner, I walked outside and we have a well, I hate text messaging groups. So to anyone listening, don't add me to any. Like Vic, I happen to know you're in a bunch of pointless text messaging groups with like 20 and 30 people. I can't do that. I don't know how you do it. I can't do that. But
No, I'm not. No, I'm not in. I'm not in the big texting group. I keep trying to get someone to add me, but no one.
well, I can
Yeah,
get
but no
somebody
one
to
will
add
add
me.
me.
The
So.
lady's in all of them. She's addicted to it. I don't understand it, but but anyway. So if anyone's listening, don't add me to none of your text messaging groups. I hate those things. But I am in two. But both of them are small. One of them has 4 people in it. One of them has, I think, 5 people in it. One of them is the just like a degenerate gambling thing with like me, Pete, Slaw,
Yeah. So
Colby,
like
Sir
the
UGA.
the Vegas group.
Basically the OG Vegas group, the group of
Or
us
the
that
OG
went to Vegas
Vegas
for the
group,
first time. Yeah.
And you got a group that's like you and BA and Pete and Mrs. Pete.
Right, the Pineapple Group. Yeah. So anyway, we got to talking about this at dinner, and I couldn't get it off my mind. So as soon as we got done eating, I went outside, and I had to text message the gambling group with my thoughts on this. And so I normally wouldn't do this because, of course, what we discuss in this group is highly sensitive and particularly offensive, depending on who might hear it. But anyway, I'm going to play a couple of them because I know they wouldn't mind on this one here. Instead of just telling you what was going on, I'm just going to play it. So here you go. We were just eating dinner, and I was thinking in there about the whole alien thing. Now, I don't believe aliens have ever been here, like the whole Area 51 thing, where supposedly we've got an alien spaceship in an alien body. Like, I don't believe that. I don't think that could be kept a secret this long. So I don't think aliens have actually been here. But as big as the fucking universe is, there's got to be something else out there. And here's the other thing. If the universe is as big as they say it is, and it's been around for billions of years, and us as human beings is the best that the universe has ever done, that's fucking sad, man. Because we're down bad as far as, like, creatures or whatever. We're pitiful, man. I'm serious. There's got to be something else out there somewhere that's managed to do better than human beings. We're pathetic. Yeah. So basically, what I was just telling you that's I sent that text message to the group there. Everyone agreed. Everyone agreed. I'll play a couple of responses here. Here you go. Here's one.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but I'm certain that we are not the highest form of intelligence in the universe. We're probably at the bottom. We're basically monkeys with nuclear weapons.
I mean, he's basically saying exactly what I said. He just said it a lot better, clear, shorter, more concise. But that's the point I'm making, is that we're not. See, we are the smartest thing on Earth. Okay, I believe that. I know, like the whole they do studies on dolphins and their IQ is 1 million. I don't see dolphins out here walking around building computers and shit, though. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah, I know what you mean.
You might be able to find like one metric where dolphins are smarter than humans, and one like from whatever, but no, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the smartest thing on Earth. But because of that, and see, also human beings have an inherent arrogance about them. And part of that is because we're the smartest thing on Earth. So we look around here, and this just really just goes to show how dumb we are. We're the smartest thing we can see. So we assume we're the smartest thing everywhere, anywhere of all time. And we're not. We can't be. I just refuse to believe that. But we look at a pig rolling around in his own shit. We look at a dog licking his asshole, and we go, "Dang, we're pretty fucking smart." But we're not. Not licking your own asshole doesn't make you smart. Knowing not to roll around in a pile of your own shit doesn't make you some sort of super intelligence creature.
Right.
We're just smarter than the other dumb shit that's here. It's the old tallest midget deal. We're the tallest midget on Earth. Okay, but we're, that doesn't mean we're 8 feet tall. There's no way that the universe is as old as they say, and we're the best thing that's ever come out of that, or the smartest thing that's ever come out of that. There's no way. I don't believe that. Sounds like you pretty much believe it too. Obviously, we just heard from Pete. He believes it. Let's see what Sir UJ had to say.
I mean, could you imagine gambling at an extraterrestrial, alien-owned SpaceX casino? Comma, period?
See? More proof of how dumb we are. We're having like a philosophical conversation about intelligence in the universe, and all Sir UJ can think about is building a casino on the moon.
It's
Well, so he obviously agrees. I don't know. Let's see what's next here.
Yeah, like the bar scenes from Star Wars, where it's just a bunch of fucking weirdos around or whatever, but a craps table and a roulette wheel on the side.
Yep.
But as far as the humans being retarded, and I mean this in a good way for Slaw. Slaw is like an above average human being. I mean, just think about that. Slaw is above average. Come on, man.
You see the point I'm making now, Vic?
Yeah.
Like, we see Slaw and we're like, wow, like he's done pretty well for himself, all this kind of whatever. But he's more than half retarded. Like, if we were to start talking about Slaw's issues and stuff, we'd be here till next Thursday. And I'd argue he's way above average. If you were to line up like every human being on Earth, like shoulder to shoulder, from like the absolute worst and dumbest to the absolute best and smartest, Slaw would be somewhere in the like 51 to 70% range.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. Like, he's above average. So, and look, I'm not talking shit about anybody. I'm under 50%. Like, so I'm not putting myself on a pedestal and saying, other humans are dragging us down. I'm dragging us down. Slaw, people like Slaw are the only thing keeping our heads above water. Think about it.
Yeah.
This guy this guy lost his driver's license in his wallet. And he's an above average human being. This guy sat down on the floor in the lobby of a hotel, took everything out of his wallet, and he's 60 years old, and he has a wallet that you would think a 60-year-old person has. In other words, it's got every receipt in there from everything he's bought from the last 6 months. You know, a membership card to every grocery store, Costco, Sam's. He still has a Blockbuster card in there. He sits down on the middle of a hotel lobby floor because he opened up his wallet and his driver's license wasn't there. So he was like, well, it's got to be somewhere. So this guy sits down on the 60 years old now, 3 p.m. He sits down in the lobby of a casino hotel in Vegas, Indian style, right in the middle of the lobby. Doesn't find a chair, a couch, a coffee table. No, right in the middle of the lobby. People walking around him, stepping over him. Takes everything out of his wallet. Vic, I'm not kidding you. Probably 100 items. From receipts to whatever, credit cards, debit cards, social security card, fucking the little laminated miniature diploma you get when you graduate high school. I mean, it looked like a special needs kid organizing his stamp collection. And he couldn't find his ID. And then 2 days later, he found his ID in that same wallet that he emptied out on the floor and said wasn't in there. After spending 2 days on the phone with the FBI, the TSA, Homeland Security, airport security, trying to figure out how he was going to get back on a plane in Vegas to come home with no ID. Vic, he took everything out of his wallet. Said the driver's license wasn't in there. And then 2 days later found the driver's license in his wallet. And he's way above average. So don't tell me that in the entire universe, human beings are the absolute peak or epitome of intellectual development. There's just no way. You know how we go and we do like all these scans of all these foreign planets or moons or whatever, and we don't even have to land there. And we can say, well, there's no water there, or there's no whatever there, so there's not even any point in us going there. Right? You know what I'm saying? We're not going to go there because we've scanned it, or we've done this, or we've done that scientifically with this and that, and there's not whatever, there's no carbon there, whatever it is. These aliens that are flying around out there, they scan Earth and they go, there's no intelligent life there. We don't even need to. That's why they haven't been here. They scan Earth. They see us. They see what we're doing down here. And they just shake their head and fly on to the next galaxy or whatever it is. It's like they don't waste their time coming here, just like we went to the moon, 60 years ago, looked around for 5 minutes and went, there's nothing here. We don't need to come back. Like, that's how aliens look at Earth. They see us here. They know we're here. They see what we're doing and all this, and they go, it's just that there's nothing there. And they're right. I mean, they're right. So, I don't, it's depressing in a way to think about. But, just because something's depressing doesn't mean it isn't true. You know what I mean? Miami's never won the ACC. So, extremely depressing for them, but true. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about the last couple of days, and um, that's kind of what I've been pondering on.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about the talent show for the last few days.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have you? I don't. Of course, don't tell us. I don't watch any of the videos, even when people send them to me, until the talent show. So don't give anything away. But do you have something in mind for a round 2 video?
Yeah, I do have an idea for a round 2 video. Yes, yes. So
Good.
I will be sending in a second video.
All right. Now I'm not going to ask you anything else about that second video, but I would like to talk to you about your first video, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
All right. So I like doing that too. What you did, I've done it on the channel. I don't know, 5 or 6 times, where I take a song, but then I make up my own lyrics to the song, and it's usually college football
Right.
something, or like the Billy Napier song or whatever. So
Yeah.
So how long? Well, first of all, how long did it take you to decide on that song? And were there other songs that, like, did you get it? Did you get it down to like 3 songs, and you were like, okay, which one of these I'm going to do this one? Or how did that? How did you wind up on the song that you ended up choosing?
Yeah, I did get it down to a couple of songs, but I ultimately decided to go with a rap. So I think that the song would be good. Instead of saying the real Slim Shady, please stand up. So it can be with a real VicTube. Please roll up. So.
Yeah. And obviously, you made a great decision as you sailed on through the second round. Now, when you sat down to write the song, what was that process like? Because sometimes when I do those things, like one of 2 things happens. It either comes to me really, really quick, like I literally write out the entire song in like 10 minutes, or I get constantly stuck and it takes me a week. Like there's never been a time where it took me like 2 hours to write one of those parody songs. It for me, it either happens like really quick. Maybe I've just got the right ideas about a certain subject or topic or whatever it is I'm wanting to sing about in the song or whatever. But it seems to be no middle ground when I sit down to try to do those things. It either happens almost immediate, or it takes me a ridiculous amount of time. So how long did it take you to finish writing that song from start to finish?
I guess about 2 or 3 days. So.
Yeah. Okay. So that's sort of how it. Yeah. That's. Yeah. For me, it's like a 10 or 15 minutes or multiple days. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you did great. That was obvious. Now, was there any concern on your part that you chose a song and a singer that is like really fast paced and can sometimes be hard to? I don't know. I don't know musical like lingo or terminology or whatever, but like if you were to put it in typing terms, like Eminem is like 100, somebody that can type 100 words a minute versus some other songs, it's like somebody pecking on a keyboard with their fingers. Like some are slower, some are faster. Was there any concern that you chose Eminem, who in a lot of his songs they're really fast, or any concern that like man, am I going to be able to keep up with this here?
Right. Well, I guess a little bit. I mean, that's not his fastest songs. I mean, he does have songs where he raps faster.
Yeah.
I mean, like in a song, Rap God, where it's like
Yeah. So that song was out right away. There was like no consideration for that song. Yeah. Now, when you sat down to record this, how did that go?
Well, I knew I wasn't going to be able to come up, because that song is like 4 minutes long. I wasn't going to be able to come up with 4 minutes worth of rap lyrics. So I knew that the verses were going to be shorter. So after I had record, I found an instrumental version on YouTube, so I was just able to record the audio that, and then I kind of had to like cut down the audio, kind of cut it, shorter.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had to do some of that too, playing around with the music to cut it down or whatever. Now, did you film it in one take, and did you memorize the lyrics, or did you have them displayed in front of you?
Yeah, I just put them on the on the screen, because I was just recording it on using the OBS record function. So yeah. Then I had like the words on the screen. I like made like a Google Doc that had like all the lyrics on there. So
yeah. Now when I do it, I'll sing part of the song and then stop, and then restart the song, and then, in other words, if I'm doing a 3-minute song, like I don't record the whole thing start to finish uninterrupted. I'll record sections of the song at a time, and then splice them together. What did you do? Did you record it all in one take?
Yeah, I did it all in one take. Yeah,
that's impressive. Now, did you go with the first take that you did, or did you do the whole song multiple times?
Well, yeah, I did the whole song a couple of times.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you definitely did good. Uncle Lou was proud of you. You obviously put in the effort, and I can appreciate that. Now, outside of your video, which is obviously amazing, Vic, give me 2 other videos that you thought were really, really good. Whether it was an actual talent, or you just thought they were really funny, or whatever. Give me 2 of your favorites.
Yeah, I liked the Ballard video, the Slob Sins. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
And then let's see, who else? Yeah, obviously the drummer man, Peter. Yeah, he's always pretty cool. I usually like his what he does. So let's see. Yeah, I liked Slaw's poem about Robin. I thought that was
the
really
ode
good.
to Robin. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was good and heartfelt.
Yeah. And that's the difference between whiskey and you.
Right. He can always go get more whiskey, but Robin's gone. There's no more of that. Yeah, and remember, he's above average. So.
Yeah, and then
talked about that.
and then of course I want to see what Millis is gonna do in his next video.
Yeah, me too. Now, speaking of Millis, is Spank Mapleton a 25-year-old version of Millis Vanillis?
Yes.
As far as the video styles and stuff, they are similar. It's like a collection of just like
juice poot.
Yeah, it's a collection of like, what in the fuck is this guy doing in his yard? Like, imagine, we talked about this with Millis Vanillis when he did like the Elvis Presley thing and was playing the drums in his front yard and shit like that year for the talent show, which is one of the best talent show videos of all time, by the way. That one from Millis. But we talked about, like, imagine, it's 2 PM on a Tuesday or whatever it is, and you're just walking down your driveway to check your mail, and across the street there's a guy in an Elvis costume playing the drum and playing a full drum set in his front yard, and we're just like, you just must think like, what in the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, he was wasn't he wearing a diaper too? Wasn't he like wearing
He was on his porch.
Diaper?
Yeah, he was on his porch wearing a diaper. He had a kiddie pool in the front yard. He was splashing around in the kiddie pool wearing nothing but a diaper. Yeah. I mean, an amazing video. One of my favorite talent show videos of all time. But we talked at the time, like, imagine whatever. You get home from the grocery store, you pull in your driveway, you pop the trunk, you're carrying in your milk and eggs, you look next door, and there's this guy on a, there's this 50-year-old man in a diaper splashing around in a kiddie pool in his front yard or whatever. Same thing with Spank Mapleton. Like, he's running around in underwear and a robe, in his yard, with a whole table set up with weird shit on it, and then he's passed out in a lawn chair, and there's someone with a bicycle pumping air into his nose and shit. And imagine like you just whatever you taking your dog out or whatever, and you look across the street and Spank Mapleton is running around his yard with the robe on and that. Hilarious. I think the reason I find that kind of thing so funny is because I don't do it much anymore, but I used to do some of that kind of stuff out in the yard where I would do weird shit in the yard, like, or whatever. And now all the neighbors at the time knew what I did, so if they would ever see anything like that, they always knew, oh, he's doing something for his YouTube or whatever, as opposed to just thinking that I'm criminally insane or whatever. But yeah, I hope Millis does something like that in the next round, because that's really the only reason I think he got put through. Like the actual video he sent in for round one really wasn't. I mean, I don't like to put anybody's video down, because everybody that takes time to send in a video, I appreciate it a lot, because without those videos, we don't have a talent show. But the thing is, and this is, it's like Millis has become a victim of his own success. It's like a coach who wins 11 games every year. Then they win 9 games, and it seems bad. 9 wins ain't that bad. But if you normally win 11, you're like, what happened here? It's a step back. That's what it was with Millis. Like, he set the bar so high with his videos from a few years ago. So anyway, we'll see what he sends in for next week. But personally, for a selfish entertainment point of view, I hope it's something like we saw from him a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think that he did have a few hints in that video, like he showed flashes of what he might be doing. So
yeah.
I mean, he's right. So I guess it's probably going to have something to do with his lawnmower.
Yeah. Jackpot, anything that you can record yourself doing is considered a talent for the purposes of the talent show. But speaking of Jackpot, because he is somebody that, like, if I were to make a list of people that have never sent in a talent show video that I wish would send in talent show videos, he would be on that list. I mean, I want everybody to send one in, but if I had to make like a top 5 people that haven't sent a talent show video in that you really wish they would, Jackpot would be on that list, and probably closer to 1 than 5. In fact, he might be number 1 on that list in terms of people who have never sent a talent show video in. But of course, he's really busy and super important with the whole potato chip thing, plus his YouTube, so he probably doesn't have time for pointless shit like the YouTube's Got Talent show.
Yeah.
Which is disappointing, but understandable. Oh, lady, how about you shut the fuck? Yeah, well, now that lady didn't know what I was doing, but she wasn't my neighbor. She was walking a dog, so I don't even know. I still to this day don't even know where she lived. She lived somewhere in the neighborhood, but I don't know who it was or where she lived. It wasn't anybody that lived. See, I lived in a cul-de-sac, so there was no neighbor really at all to my left. It was a wooded lot basically to my left. Across the street on the other side of the cul-de-sac, that was like one neighbor, and then to my right was another, my next door neighbor to my right. But I didn't have a next door neighbor to my left. So I had like an across the street neighbor and a neighbor to my right. And they both know and knew, what I did and what I do. So if they saw me, like, do I have the one on here where I'm, The shitter's full, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have that on here. Of course, I should. I don't see it on here. But the one where I'm standing out in the road with a hose pipe and a robe on, and I'm like, shitter's full, like that. I used to do a lot of that kind of thing. So like they wouldn't look out their window, see me doing that, and go, the fuck is wrong with this guy? Now they might have thought something was wrong with me, but they knew why I was doing. They knew it was a YouTube thing. They still might have thought what the fuck's going, this guy's fucked up or whatever. But they at least knew what I was doing. The lady walking her dog had no idea. She just seen me yelling in the garage. Because if you remember in that video, I wasn't even holding a camera or a phone. It was propped up, because I was doing the at Georgia Tech, you can do that deal. So it wasn't like I was obviously filming myself. I wasn't holding a phone in front of my face, obviously filming myself. The phone was on the camera was on a tripod. So, and the garage door was open, and she was walking her dog, and she came down to turn around through that cul-de-sac, and all she seen and heard was me standing in the garage yelling, with an Iron Man mask on or whatever it was I was doing. And she thought it was a good idea to tell me to shut the fuck up, which of course was not a good idea. Which of course was not a good idea at all. And that's probably the best case of dumb luck that's ever occurred on my YouTube channel, that I just happened to be recording at that it picked it up. Now you can barely hear it. We've played it and slowed it down a bunch of times. I'm not gonna go through all that right now, but the clip that I play all the time is just my response. But like, if you ever go back and watch the whole video, I actually slow it down in the video and amplify the volume, and you can hear her yell, "Shut the fuck up." And that's when I'm like, "No, lady, how about you shut the fuck up?" Or when I must have that one on here.
Yeah, I'm doing LoutubeHere, bitch.
Yeah, how do I not have that on here?
Yeah, I thought you did.
The problem is there's 25 of them, and I can't ever find the one I'm looking. It's too many now.
Okay.
That's how I end up sometimes not having one on here, because I'll get aggravated and just start removing some of them because there's so many I can't ever find the one I want. Is this it? This might be it. Yeah, that's it. Of course, it didn't play. It got stuck, but I'll play it again.
Try again.
No big deal there.
No, lady, how about you shut the f up? I'm doing LoutubeHere, bitch!
Yeah. Lou blurts out some gems at the casino, too. Yeah, look, some people are good at, like, script writing. Whether you're talking about YouTube videos or, like, obviously people who write movie scripts and shit like that, or people that write books, they write stories, whatever. I'm not really good at that. I'm more of a off the top of my head. Like, some of the best, like, one-liners and most memorable things. Well, like in my YouTube videos, I don't write shit down the majority of the time. Now, when I do, like, prediction videos where I might need to know some stats about something, or how many returning starters somebody has on a certain side of the ball, or kind of analytical shit, I will either write some stuff down for those videos or make notes on the computer to have up on one of the screens while I'm recording. But like all those videos where I'm just walking around with the phone in my hand, I don't spend any time at all thinking about those videos. None. I literally come up with the idea or the title of the video, I hit record, and I start pacing around and yelling. Like the reaction type videos that I do during the season, like at halftime or the end of games or whatever. It's the same thing with the Your Season Is Over videos. And that's pretty impressive, because some of those things are an hour and a half long. And while I do make copious notes for the Your Season Is Over video, the only thing written on those notes is the scores of games and any stats that I want to mention. But all the trash talk and the one-liners and all that, none of that is... In other words, I'm not reading a script or a teleprompter, I look at the copious notes when I first start talking about the game. This was the score. He only completed 30% of his passes. He had 4 interceptions or whatever it is. And then I put the thing down and I just talk shit for 10 minutes about the team that lost. And for me, I'm better My videos are better that way than when I try to like prepare. Like, you remember when you were in school and you'd have to read a book, then write a book report, and they'd say, okay, first you have to turn in an outline, then you have to turn in a thesis. I'm not good at that. Just give me an idea of something I can talk about. It's like wind me up and watch me go. That's all. That's all you got to just pull the string and stand back and watch out. That's all I need. The more preparation it seems like I do for something, it's not as good. It's not as good. I like to shoot from the hip, as it were, Vic.
Yep.
I like to shoot from the hip. Now, because of that, there's a lot of misses. In other words, not every joke lands. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm not sitting down and writing these things out and then like testing them on a, hey lady, would this be a good one? And she's like, no, that one doesn't make any sense. Okay, scratch that off. So it's not like I'm batting 1,000 with the shit that comes out of my mouth off the top of my head, but some of the best material I've ever had, it is off the top of my head, for sure. And there's no doubt about that. So there's that and that too, and also addition to that as well. Lou would be a great comedian, interacting with the audience. The problem is like even last week or a couple of weeks ago, whatever it was, where I went off on the Walmart cashiers and all that shit. And people seem to like that. They were from the comment section and all. If I would have sat down earlier that day and tried to write out like a bit about Walmart receipt checkers and not having cashiers and having to scan your own groceries, it wouldn't have been any good. Like 5 minutes before I went on that, 5 seconds before I went on that rant, I had no idea I was even going to talk about that. It just came up in the chat. So like the idea of being a stand-up comedian, I don't think I could ever do that, because I don't think as a stand-up, maybe there's some out there that can. I can't just walk out on a stage and just, okay, go, come up with stuff now. Like the idea has to come to me for some particular reason. I couldn't sit down and write out like a 30-minute stand-up routine. I could probably clip hours and hours off of my live shows where I just go off on shit and put it out as a stand-up thing, but all that just came off the top of my head. I can't prepare shit.
Yes.
I can't prepare shit, which is one of the reasons when I sit down to write those songs, it either comes to me right away because it's just coming off the top of my head immediately. But if it doesn't come to me immediately, then I have a really hard time, like for 3 or 4 days, trying to come up with the material. The longer it takes me, the worse it is. Seems like.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. So should I? Do y'all want to know about how I voted in each of the
I do
video brackets?
I do, but before we get to that, because I had asked you to tell me 2 of your favorite videos from the talent show, which you did. Now I want to know 2 of your least favorite, 2 of the worst. Maybe they weren't the worst, but maybe you didn't like them or whatever. Don't be scared, Vic.
I didn't really like. Well, I mean, let's see.
You want me to refresh your
I don't know.
memory?
Yeah, I don't know if there were really any that I didn't like. I mean, I guess Nate's. I guess.
Dang. Did he get eliminated?
Yeah,
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. I think that he lost to
He lost to Ballard.
some guy's wife's monkey.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did lose to some guy's wife's monkey. And then didn't he? I think I put him up in a second poll too to save him between him and maybe
he was
Millis.
And Millis, and he lost that too.
So he kind of got eliminated in the first round twice.
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I hope he's okay.
Yeah. I actually voted for for Nate though, because I thought as much as it wasn't good. I thought it was at least more.
It was better than some guy's wife's pussy.
Right, more talented than yeah.
Okay. And
I mean, yeah, of course we couldn't even see it anyway, so
right.
because you had it covered up.
No, I can send it to you if you're interested.
Nah,
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Okay.
I think I'm good. Yeah, I thought that what Nate did was at least a little bit more talented.
Yeah,
but,
more creative maybe.
yeah, more creative.
Yeah.
Feel like
Try it harder.
Anyone can do that. But
Yeah.
what Nate did, at least he had to come up with stuff. So
Yeah. I think some of the best videos Nate's done for the talent show over the years are not the not necessarily the talking videos. Like I guess the one where he tried to pronounce words was okay, but it's not you have to have the material. The material has to be good and funny, and the delivery has to be right. It's like you have to have both of, like, the funniest joke in the world told in a bad way would not be funny.
yeah.
I think some of Nate's best videos, instead of the sort of sitting down and talking videos that he's done for the talent show over the years, some of the like the hockey one where he's where he's in his basement, knocking holes in his wall with a hockey puck, like that was funny.
Yeah,
I liked that one. There was one he did in his anyway. So not that Nate needs any advice from an idiot like me, but if I was going to give Nate any advice that he didn't ask for, which he didn't, it would be to do more of that kind of thing and maybe less of the like the Spank Mapleton and Millis Vanillis approach. Like same with Millis Vanillis, right? Millis Vanillis sends a video in this year of him sitting down and talking for 5 minutes. It wasn't great. The better videos were him running around doing silly shit. I feel like that's more Nate's niche too.
Yeah, like we just see just more of Nate being Nate.
Yeah, Nate just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go through with the list here, and you tell us how you voted.
Okay.
All right. You already. So we had some guy versus Nate in round one. You already told us you voted for Nate.
Right.
After that, we had Ballard and his Slob Sins versus Wotod 99 with his guitar and his singing.
Yeah, I had Ballard. Yeah, I had Ballard, obviously.
Okay. After that, we had Millis Vanillis's 5-minute speech about change versus the Drummer Man.
Yeah, I voted for the Drummer Man.
Okay. After that, we had Hufferbilly Paul's Ode to Robin and Vic Tube's reworking of an Eminem song.
Well, I voted for myself, obviously.
I knew it. I knew you did. Then we had,
even though I thought Paul's video was really good.
You thought Paul's video was good, just not as good as yours.
Right.
Yeah, you thought yours was better.
Right.
And of course, the chat agreed because you defeated Hufferbilly Paul's Ode to Robin.
Right.
All right. After that, we had Slim Shady Kane's Ride the Lightning video where he gets tased live on camera.
Yeah.
Versus Spank Mapleton's Juice Poot and Mildew.
Yeah, I voted for the Juice Poot and Mildew.
Yeah. And that one did win.
Because I mean we've already seen Slim get tased once. We don't need to make Slim get tased again. So.
Yeah. What's up, Ballard? You working on your round 2 video, buddy? Round 2 videos will play on Monday. Y'all just send them in the same way. All right. After that, Vic, we had DJ David doing the absolute least possible, which is more than most people do, though, because most people would not. If they tried to throw a piece of paper away and missed, they would not go back and pick it up. Most people don't put their dirty dishes in the dishwasher. So, like, he made a good point there with doing the least video. So when I call it doing the least, it's not a. I don't mean like he did the least in terms of like sending in a video. I mean that was sort of the point of the video. Versus another Oregon fan. It just happened to work out this way, but versus another Oregon fan, the Dark Knight, who I thought had one of the most, well, it was like the Sixth Sense. It was like, it was a twist ending, which I enjoy, but he had the Bama math video.
Yeah, 9 minus 4 equals Bama.
Yeah, and like, because like everybody else, I'm sure, I'm sitting there watching the video and I'm like, okay, this is like the guy who used to clap as a talent, or the guy that made a sandwich. Like, he's just doing like the most basic thing imaginable. They're not even hard math problems, and he's just sending in that he knows how to do math as a talent. And then it got to the end and it got me. Yep. Like, I did not see it coming at all. It's a total twist ending there. Which I enjoyed. Yeah. So who'd you vote for there?
Yeah, I had to vote for DJ David. Yeah, what really sold me on DJ David was when he put the toilet paper on the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, to give him
extra credit
extra
for that.
Points for putting the toilet paper on over. So which is the way that it's supposed to be done.
Right, so. Of course. Now, unfortunately, your vote wasn't enough, and DJ David did lose to the Dark Knight. But anyway,
right.
And then the last one was Flaming Sports Media taking 8 shots of whiskey and rambling incoherently about something that I still don't understand, versus Jay Shipe showing pictures of the poker tables that he made.
Trying to remember. Yeah, I think I voted for Flamin' Sports. Yeah.
But Jay advanced to the next round. Now let's try to figure out what we think some of these people might do for the next round. Now, let's start with Huffer Billy Paul. Now, if he wants to keep the same sort of theme, what if for his second video, he did basically the same thing, but instead of Ode to Robin, what if he did Ode to Jay Shipes?
Yes.
Now that would be good.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Or like some sort of ode to gambling, like some sort of so in other words, instead of a depressing song about how his woman left him because he drinks too much, what about some sort of depressing song about how he gets taken to the cleaners every time he goes to a casino or something like that?
Yeah.
Would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, actually, I see that people are asking for a wellness check on Nate. Well, I mean, Nate was on the Celine Driver show yesterday.
Oh, I forgot about that. He didn't do that thing for so long. I'm out of the habit of it's like I set my alarm clock in the morning for like 7:05 a.m. Maybe one day a week my alarm wakes me up. In other words, I'm just so used to getting up at a certain time. I usually get up before my alarm clock goes off, just like an internal clock that just says, hey, it's time to get up. So I'm usually up around 6:30. The live streams that I watch are the same way. Like something just happens in me at like 5:30 every Friday where I'm like, oh, we have Vic's coming up at 6. Like we're eating dinner or whatever, and maybe we're trying to figure out what we're going to watch after dinner. And I'm like, oh, wait, it's VicTube, Friday, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Celine took so much time off from his Wednesday show, and then he was out of town. He went to Italy or whatever it was. And then like for a while, he just was, I don't know, one of these, you know how people take the break from YouTube, how they do that.
Yeah.
And somehow along the way, my internal clock for Wednesday 3:00 just quit working, and so I completely forgot about his show yesterday, which is on me.
Yes.
Which of course is on me.
Mhm.
And plus, I think he's upset with me because I don't think the United States has any business doing anything with Iran. Look, that's an Israel problem. So it's an Israel problem. Do you want to talk about that, or you don't want to get into that?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe in a little bit. Well, first, yeah. We're still talking about the talent shoe. So who was more zooted, Flamin' Sports Media in that video, or me in Panama City?
I actually think you were more zooted than he was. I do. Obviously, he drank more than you did, but there's a tolerance issue when it comes. Like, not everybody that drinks 2 shots is good. 2 shots isn't going to have the exact same effect on every single person. Like, there's a lot of other things that go into it. Body weight is a big one. He obviously weighs a lot more than you do. So I think you almost drove your scooter into a swimming pool, dude.
Yep.
So, and not that I'm proud of it, but from somebody that has experience in getting zooted and then driving their car into things, I can tell you were pretty fucking zooted. So that actually only happened once, but just for the record. But that I did that, but that's once too many. Has it rained every day for the past 2 months? Not every day, but I mean, we get a lot of rain here this time of year every year. Like, you almost don't even have to check the weather here this time of year. It's going to be 80 degrees in the morning, 95 degrees in the afternoon, with a 50 or 60% chance of a pop-up thunderstorm. That's pretty much the weather here every day. And then if it gets really hot, instead of 95 with a chance of a storm in the afternoon, it's 105 with a chance. But it's same thing. 80 degrees in the morning, between 95 and 105 in the afternoons, with a 50 or 60% chance of a pop-up thunderstorm. But we haven't had one in the last couple of days. It got to thundering and raining a little bit Tuesday night, right as I was starting the call-in show, but it didn't last long. It didn't last long. Theo Vaughn says he's leaving MAGA if Trump gets involved with Iran. Well, that's not true. I mean, it might be true that he said that, but he'll be. They'll find some kind of. There's a lot of people that are saying that. They'll find some sort of an off ramp. They're not going to turn on Trump. They can't. They don't have the ability.
Nope. Yeah, I think that for round 2, Mills is gonna do something with his lawnmower. I think that he might be like doing some kind of stunt with his lawnmower. Maybe he's going to jump over the little kiddie pool with his lawnmower.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
Yep, his Ballard's gonna be doing more slob sins.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Usually,
Ballard,
people stick to the same sort of theme if they move to the second round, but there's nothing that says they you could do something totally different.
Right.
So, and again, don't tell us, Ballard. I don't want to know. Because I'm serious, y'all. I don't watch 1 second of these videos people send in until I'm live on air on the Mondays playing them, which is dangerous because somebody could. Well, like the some guy video. Like, luckily he tells me ahead of time. But somebody could send me the guy fucking the watermelon thing, and I would play it. Because I don't watch them. Now, you know what? I get if somebody sent me something and I didn't know who it was, I guess maybe I would at least. I probably would have to watch it ahead of time. But generally, I know who's sending it in, and so
Right.
I'm not.
Right.
Because what they do is usually what happens for those of y'all that don't know. Usually, what happens is they upload the video to YouTube. So if they've uploaded it to YouTube and it hasn't gotten taken down from their channel for uploading it, it's probably safe for me to play. You know. But like some guy, he obviously didn't upload his video to YouTube. It was just a video file sent to my email address. But most people upload their video to their YouTube channel, mark it as unlisted, and then send me the link to their YouTube video. I then play it on the morning show. So there's not a lot of risk. It's the same reason the only music that I play on YouTube is music off of other YouTube channels. In other words, I would never play Spotify on a YouTube stream or music I have saved on my computer on a YouTube stream, because there are some songs that everybody knows when you play music, they copyright you and you can't monetize the video, but you don't get a strike. You don't get in any YouTube trouble. But there are songs that if you play them on YouTube, you do get a strike. There are certain artists that do not allow their, Garth Brooks is one. You can't play Garth Brooks on YouTube. You can't even find Garth Brooks on YouTube. It's not there. He doesn't allow it. And he will strike you, and you will get in YouTube trouble. So
he will strike you down.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with people sending in the videos. If they've uploaded their video to their YouTube channel and it hasn't gotten taken down, I feel pretty safe that I can play it, and we'll be fine.
Yes.
People who have never served shouldn't be president. No one should be able to send someone to war if they've never been. Well, that brings up a whole other issue. The president of the United States is not supposed to be able to send anybody to war, whether they've ever served or not. And that's not the president's fault. That's not Trump's fault. That's not some other president's fault. Congress has abdicated their responsibility when it comes to war. They just like they have abdicated their responsibility on almost everything. Like their job is to get reelected. So the less they can do in their mind, the better off they are, because there's nothing anyone can hold over their head if they didn't do anything. So like Congress never sent any troops to Iraq or Afghanistan. So when that goes wrong, who gets the blame? The president. Yeah,
they did that since Vietnam was when they abdicated that responsibility.
I mean, Slaw, to pretend that what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan wasn't a war just because Congress didn't issue a declaration of war is naive and stupid. It wasn't. It was obviously a war. Yeah, some guys got it right. Congress loves giving up their power so they can't be held accountable. Yeah, it really seems right now like the only real thing Congress really wants to do is appropriations. In other words, because the president can't spend any money either. The Congress has to do that. So, they allocate the money every year, and they investigate people that they don't like. Both sides. Like that's all they really want. These never-ending hearings that they do. I dragged this person in for a hearing. I dragged that person in for a hearing. That's all they really want to do is investigate people so they can get a 20-second sound bite to go viral somewhere where, they were being mean to somebody that they know their voters don't like. And then they like to appropriate money. But like outside of that, like they really don't want to do anything because they don't want to have to run for office and somebody says, why'd you pass this bill? And it ended up being a total disaster. Yeah, so they'd rather just not do anything.
Right. Yeah.
And honestly, I'm okay with that. The less they do, the better for me, to me. So. I do think the House of Representatives having 2-year terms is a massive problem because the election cycle has become 18 months now. In other words, they get elected and 6 months later they're running for office again.
Yep.
That's their only real goal from the minute they get elected is to get reelected. And in their minds, the best way to get reelected, because incumbents have an inherent advantage strictly through name recognition. In their mind, the less they do in that 2 years, the more likely they are to get reelected. So they try to do nothing. But the election cycle is 18 months long. I mean, so it's almost like a continuous campaigning. That's all they're ever doing is campaigning.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot less of that in the Senate, which is also why you see a lot more bipartisan sort of. I mean, you still don't see a lot, but you're more likely to see Republicans voting against something Republican, or Democrats voting against something Democrat, or Republicans voting for something Democrat and Democrats voting for something Republican in the Senate than you are in the House of Representatives, because, we have like a 5-minute attention span and they only run for office every 6 years.
Yep.
So they can do what they think is right the first 3 or 4 years that they're a senator, even if it means voting against their own party or voting in favor of the other party, because they don't have to win an election again next week, like the Congress, like the House of Representatives people do. But anyway, but should we get involved in Iran? No, of course we shouldn't. There's zero reason, none. So no, that's just an easy answer. So that's just an easy answer there for me. The answer is obviously no. For me, on that, because they haven't done anything. So they haven't done anything to us. So somebody saying they hates us is not a reason to level them. So I mean, if we go around leveling every country that says they hate us, there won't be no countries left.
Nope.
So the answer is for me, it's a hard no on getting involved in Iran.
Right, yeah, because they haven't done anything to us. Until they do anything to us, then there's no reason to attack.
Yeah, and by the way, when I say do something to us, I mean here. If you don't want them to do anything to us there, don't be there. So.
Yes,
don't
yes,
be
there are. Yes, there are rumors of Iranian sleeper cells being here. So,
right,
and that they might do some kind of terrorist attack. But
right, and they're 2 weeks away from having a nuke since 1985.
Right, or they
constant,
or they
2 weeks. How is it they're always 2 weeks? They've been 2 weeks away for 40 years.
Yeah.
I'm not buying. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
They are 2 weeks away, or I guess they were 2 weeks away until Israel did something about it. But so they claim.
You don't know that they were 2 weeks away.
Yeah, exactly.
All you know is that the government is telling you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, that's like Iraq had WMDs too. Gotta go get them.
Yep.
Iran's 2 weeks away from a nuke again. They've been 2 weeks away from a nuke 40 years. You can't. I mean, 2 weeks away from a nuke. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Slaw's done fell for it. Slaw's scared as shit. Now, keep in mind, for the last 4 years, Slaw has said he's against all these never-ending wars and no new wars, and Trump is the president of peace, and no new wars, no new wars. But the minute Trump starts talking about maybe doing something in Iran, Slaw changes his mind.
Yep. Yeah, there is an attack plan.
As far as a mushroom cloud in New York City goes, if Iran had a nuclear warhead right now, they have no way of getting it here. They don't have a missile that can get here.
No.
Or anywhere close to here. And I also don't understand this idea of somebody's about to have nukes, so we better do something. How many years have we heard about who's our biggest threat, Vic? What do they tell us is our biggest threat? What country is our biggest threat? What are they? Right.
China.
Right. Are they about to get nukes?
China has nukes.
Exactly. And how many times have we fucked with them militarily?
One.
When?
The Korean War.
Well, they didn't have a nuke then.
Yeah.
And we didn't do anything in China. That was all in Korea.
Right. Yeah.
That's why Iran wants a nuke.
So they don't want a nuke so they can blow up Israel.
No. And if they do, that's Israel's problem.
Yeah.
Do we have a mutual defense treaty with Israel? No.
I don't know. Do
No.
we? No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. If Cuba was 2 weeks away from developing a nuclear bomb, would it be Israel's responsibility to deal with that?
No.
No. Why?
Because
they're halfway around the world.
Right.
That would be America's responsibility.
Right. Yeah, just like it was in the 60s. Well,
they weren't
Cuban
developing nukes
crisis.
in the 60s. They were just getting nukes from Russia. Russia was moving nukes to Cuba. That was different. But Cuba wasn't developing nuclear weapons in the 60s. Russia was just moving already built nuclear weapons to Cuba. Which, by the way, the United States had a huge problem with. The United States does not want adversarial military bases anywhere near them, do they?
Yeah, why?
Nor would anybody.
Yeah, why would we?
Nobody does.
No.
So of course, but I mean, well, we have to have military bases in the Middle East because they hate us. They hate us because we're there. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you walked outside and there was an Iranian military base on one side and a Chinese military base on the other, you'd have problems with that.
Right.
I mean, not the world police. And why is it that the only country in the history of mankind to ever use a nuclear weapon against other human beings is in charge of deciding who can and can't have nuclear weapons? There's a worldwide anti-nuclear proliferation agreement that has been signed by almost every country on Earth. Has Iran signed that, Vic?
No.
Yes, they have.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Has Israel signed it?
Yes.
No.
No.
Does Iran allow nuclear inspectors into their country? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Does Israel?
No.
No. Does the U.S.?
No.
No. No, Israel doesn't even admit they have nukes. No.
Right, but we know they have them.
Well, everybody is like 99% sure they have them, but like they've never come out and admitted it.
Right.
Somebody told me yesterday that the United States needs to overthrow the Shah of Iran and install a democratically elected government. Is that the funniest thing you've ever heard?
Yeah, well, I don't know about the funniest, but it is pretty funny because weren't we the ones who put the Shah there?
Yeah, Iran had a democratically elected government in the 50s. Google pictures of Iran in the 50s. It looks like New York City. They had a democratically elected government in the 50s. We didn't like them. So we overthrew their democratically elected government in the 50s and installed a Shah. Now we don't like the Shah, so we want to overthrow the Shah and install a democratically elected government. All this is the money that we used to spend in Iraq and Afghanistan all went away. So the defense contractors, your Lockheed Martins, your Blackwaters, all these people are sitting around. The gravy train got cut off after we pulled out of Iraq and Afghanistan. So they're sitting around going, well, fuck. And then Russia invades Ukraine. So like, oh, okay, good. We can.
Nice.
Now
yeah,
we can.
And then they got a Woody
yeah.
when Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yeah. They're like, okay, great. We can send them a bunch of equipment. Because people think we sent Ukraine a bunch of money. We didn't send Ukraine any money. Not a dollar. We sent them military. So when you hear people say like, oh, we gave Ukraine $50 billion. No, we gave them $50 billion worth of tanks and missiles and bullets and whatever else. But who's making that stuff?
All the
defense contractors.
Military, the defense contractors, Lockheed Martin and people,
And then Trump gets elected and says, we're not giving no more money to Ukraine. Right? So the defense contractors, once again, their tap gets cut off. Their gravy train gets cut off. So now we got to, what?
Yeah, we got to
bomb Iran now.
Iran,
Got to bomb Iran. Got to give Israel a bunch of shit. Like, this is what it is.
Yep.
90% of the Ukraine money stayed in the U.S. economy. Yeah, because it went to Lockheed Martin or whoever builds Abrams tanks or what, like that's who the money went to. And then the equipment that they built went to Ukraine. But anyway, so then that got shut off. So now, the defense contractors are sitting around with nothing to build. So they got to invent something. Oh, well, Iran. Yeah. Iran almost has a nuke. So, and guess what? Israel doesn't have the right kind of bombs. Have you heard this? Right they don't. You've heard this, right? They don't have the right kind of bombs.
Yeah, they need the bunker buster.
Yeah. Well, they have bunker busters, but they don't go deep enough. They need the Moab bomb that we have.
Yeah, the Moab
that goes like 2 miles down. They don't have that. But that's the only thing that'll work though. And those are like $4 million a piece or something, whatever they are.
Yeah.
We gotta go start making a bunch of those. I send those to Israel now. There's a boogeyman all the time. He's a boogeyman all the time. The Iraq war, which was completely pointless. That didn't last long enough.
Yeah.
It was over too quick. Well, what happened? ISIS, all of a sudden.
Yeah,
remember?
ISIS. Yeah. I remember
Iraq
when you did that.
Iraq was public enemy number one, man. We got to overthrow Saddam. We got to put a new government in there. Everything's gonna be fine, right? Yep. The minute that happened and the money dried up, you couldn't turn the news on without hearing about ISIS.
Nope.
ISIS this, ISIS that.
ISIS.
Yeah. They're hiding under your bed. ISIS is the worst thing ever. I mean, it's just one thing after another.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember how you made that video about ISIS?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hiding in your closet, under your bed, behind the shower curtain. You know,
yeah,
I mean, we got to scare the people
yeah.
about ISIS so we can spend a bunch of money over there fighting them. Yeah, okay. Great idea. Yeah, you know what the worst thing that ever happened to this country financially was? The end of the Cold War. That's the worst thing that ever happened to us financially, because the minute the Cold War ended, there was, there was no reason to build another bomb. So from that minute on, they had to start inventing reasons. You know, within 4 years of within 2 or 3 years of the Cold War ending, we were invading Iraq the first time.
Yeah.
Early 90s. When did the Berlin Wall come down? 87, 88?
It was 80. It was 89.
89. 1990, we invade Iraq. Come on,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Why? Because they invaded
Persian
Kuwait.
Gulf War.
Come on, man. Kuwait's the size of Omaha.
Yeah.
Invaded Kuwait. Well, hey.
Well, I mean, we thought that.
We gotta rescue Kuwait, man. We can't.
Yeah.
Hey, Kuwait's our buddy. We can't.
Right. Well,
Come on.
it's because we thought that Saudi Arabia would be next. So
what? They're what? We're Team Saudi Arabia now. Actually, we are. You're right about that.
It was about the oil.
Of course it is. Saudi Arabia can do whatever they want. They can do no wrong to us.
Yeah. It's about.
Hey,
it's
where
about
were the 9/11 hijackers from?
Saudi Arabia.
So 10 of the 11 hijackers on 9/11 were from Saudi Arabia. So of course we went to war in Afghanistan and Iraq. Come on, what are we doing?
Right. I think it was because the mastermind behind it was Afghani.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was Al Qaeda. Yeah.
And I thought we have enough oil here. We don't need no oil. That's the gas price is 20 cents a gallon. 20 cents a gallon now, because we got all drill, baby, drill. We don't need their oil.
Baby,
well, we don't need their oil. Then why do we bend over for Saudi Arabia and these fucking OPEC countries? Then why? Why? Could it be it's because we don't have the oil that we need? I just. I don't get it. Russia could invade a NATO country, and half the people in the United States would go, not our problem. Never mind the fact we're obligated by treaty through NATO to come to whatever, let's say Germany, whatever. Russia invades Germany. Half the people in this country would want to have nothing to do with that. At least half would want to have nothing to do with that, even though we're obligated by treaty through NATO to come to Germany's defense there.
Right.
Those same half of people who who would not want to come to the defense of Germany where they invaded by Russia, even though we're obligated by NATO, those same people would be willing to go to war with Iran tomorrow. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't either.
I just don't understand it.
Yeah, it was the same people at the beginning of, World War II who were saying, it's not our problem, when Poland, was invaded, France was invaded, not our problem, but
I don't know. Here's what I do know. About 90%, maybe more, of what we are spoon-fed here about other countries is a lie. I've become convinced of that. I've become convinced of that. Has to be. It has to be. This is a lie. Every American should live a year overseas. It opens your eyes. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I mean, I've never done that, but I think that's probably a true statement.
Yeah, I mean that's what Vandy Dandy is doing. So. Yeah.
I mean, now there are
over in
still places
Thailand.
where I wouldn't live. I don't know that I would live in a country like China, as an example, that controls the internet to that extent. And I know every government controls the internet to a certain extent, but I don't know. I don't know. So there's that. I'm not living anywhere where there are like gorillas or rhinoceroses and stuff. Now, there are probably some places in Africa where I would live, but what little I know about Africa, I don't think there are many places there that. And I'm not an outdoorsy person, and and again, I've never been to Africa. I've never really studied Africa. I can't tell you like these 4 cities are great or what. I have no idea. But what little I do know about Africa, I can't think of a place there where I would say I'd go live there for a year. Like, I don't even have any interest in going on one of those like 2 or 3 week safaris that people do there. Like, it's just that sort of thing just doesn't interest me. But I don't know.
Yeah, China's great, right? Yeah, that's what Volusia says. But
Oh, I'm sure China's got problems, but it's nothing like what we're told here. Most of what we're told here about China is it's just a complete lie. There are lots of ways in which China is better than here. But I wouldn't live in China. Wouldn't live in China. I don't know about anywhere in Africa. Most of Europe is too cold for me.
yeah, what about Portugal? Yeah, Paul
Now,
says
what about
Portugal.
Australia?
Yeah.
What goes on in Australia? Now, obviously, I wouldn't live in the outback, Matt, with the kangaroos.
There's like giant spiders and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not living in that, but they've got big cities and shit developed, like modern.
They do,
right?
or have like a snake in the toilet, or no.
Yeah, I don't want none of that. I don't want none of that. But like, and it's warm there, right? It's Southern Hemisphere, or is Australia warm?
Yeah. In some places it's warm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think somewhere in the Caribbean is the way to go, though. I think that's probably the best option.
Yeah.
The weather's warm. The cost of living is way lower than here. Because of the internet and all that, you can live there and still have an American job and earn American dollars live in an area where those dollars go 3 times as far as they go here. You're most likely very close to a beach no matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Mason says he's been to Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never
Yeah,
been
and
anywhere
New
near
Zealand.
there, near Australia at all.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, or New Zealand. Yeah, but you know that the Lord of the Rings movies were filmed in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So
That's right. I live nice off $1,500 to $2,000 a month in the Miami of Vietnam. Yeah, I told you the other day I got down this TikTok rabbit hole about expats, basically Americans who have moved to other countries, either retirees or digital workers, and places like Vietnam, Thailand. That's the number that people throw out is about $2,000 a month to live comfortably in Southeast Asia. Like, you know, 1,500 to 2,000. The Caribbean, most places in the Caribbean, or like the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, you know, like where Cancun
Right.
and Playa del Carmen and all that is, Progreso, about 3,000.
yeah, yeah, except for Haiti, you don't want to live in Haiti, but
No,
no.
being an expat sounds fun if you can afford the process and get the sponsorship. Yeah, well, they have most countries now have what's called a digital nomad visa, and all you have to do to get approved for that is to prove income of depending. It varies on the country, but it's usually between $1,500 and $2,500 a month in digital income, whatever. In other words, remote jobs. So you know, and it's like again, depending on the country, but it's usually a 4 or 5 year visa.
Yeah.
And almost every country has those now. All the Southeast Asia countries have them. Vietnam, Thailand, all that. All the Caribbean countries have them. Mexico has it. Mexico calls it something different. It's not called a digital nomad visa, but that's basically what it is.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
You have to prove remote income. They call it remote income. So basically, you have to have an American job that you do from home. Is basically what that means. So you don't, you know, so you can basically do the job you do in America anywhere in the world as long as you have an internet connection. Then you can get one of these digital nomad visas.
Yeah,
and they're good for
then you
4
can,
or 5
and then you
years.
can be a digital nomad.
Yeah. So, you know, you got these people that are like work from home call center people. They can do it, or data entry people.
Yeah, they got call centers in India.
Yeah, well, they got them everywhere.
Yeah, thank you for calling AT&T.
Dividend stocks. Yeah, you either have to have that amount in provable monthly income that I was saying, like depending on the country, between $1,500 and $3,000 a month in provable income, or you have to have a lump sum of money. So like that's for retirees. So like you know, let's say you're 65 years old, you retire, you've got a house that's paid off, you sell it for $700,000. You don't have any income, but you've got $700,000 in the bank. They'll let you in because they know you can afford it. You got, you know, but you have to bring you bring bank statements, shit like that, to get approved for those visas. Social Security pension, that counts too. So like if you want to do a 4 or 5 year visa in whatever, Belize or Aruba or whatever,
Aruba.
You go to the consulate, you apply for your visa. They're going to ask for your bank statements and proof of income, and Social Security or pension or stock dividends, like he mentioned, or whatever else can go towards that. Basically, they just want to know that you can afford to live there. That's all they're looking to do, whether that's through some sort of minimum monthly income or a savings account or some sort of nest egg that you've got in retirement, you know. Why doesn't the U.S. have this same policy? I don't know if they do or not. Let me look it up. Does the USA offer a digital nomad visa? No, the United States does not offer a dedicated digital nomad visa. While there isn't a specific visa for remote workers, individual can explore options like the B1, B2 visa for tourism and business, or the O1 visa for individuals with extraordinary ability to stay and work remotely for foreign companies. However, these options may have limitations and require careful navigation. I think the United States is one of the hardest countries to immigrate to or to get a visa to, which is, I think, one of the things that contributes to the illegal immigration problem.
All right, so it's one of the hardest countries to get into legally.
I think, like, it's very complicated. I don't know. Obviously, I've never tried to immigrate to the United States. I don't have to. I was lucky or unlucky enough to be born here, depending on how you look at it. So, but anything I know about immigration in general, whether it's to another country through one of these temporary visas that I'm talking about or whatever, or whatever, anything I know, I have found out in the last 2 weeks. Until 2 weeks ago, the thought never crossed my mind. Well, I'll ask you, Vic. So let's say you, whatever, you're going on vacation to Mexico. All right. You're a United States citizen. You're going on vacation to Mexico. How long can you vacation there? Legally?
180 days.
Okay, so you knew that. See, I had no idea. If somebody would have asked me,
well, I thought that's what you said on the morning show.
Oh, okay. So you heard me say. So before that, did you know that?
No.
Yeah, I never even thought about that because obviously I've never been on a 6-month vacation. Most vacations are a couple of days, a week, maybe 2 weeks, right? So you never have to think about it. You land in whatever country, you show them your passport, you're coming back home in 2 weeks. You don't have to think about that, but.
Yeah, I don't think
180 days is pretty standard. 180 days is pretty standard from what I've seen. Yeah. Again, I don't know what it is in the United States because I haven't looked at all into what you need to come to the United States because I'm already here. But most other countries that I've looked at, you can stay for 180 days with no visa at all. Basically, you're just on vacation. It's no different than going for a week. You can stay for 180 days.
I don't think I would want to stay for 180 days.
Yeah. Well, what people will do that are considering moving somewhere is they will do the 180-day thing. A lot of these places, especially the really popular ones for like expat communities, Americans moving abroad, a lot of these places offer housing and apartments with 6-month leases. Because if you're considering moving somewhere, before you do that, you should probably spend a significant amount of time there. Because, vacationing somewhere is not the same as living somewhere. When you vacation somewhere, you're going out to eat all the time. You're at the beach every day, whatever. If you're going to live somewhere, like, you need to know, like, what's the grocery store like? How do I pay a cell phone bill down here? Whatever. So you can, if I was ever seriously considering moving to another country, I would do, I don't know, maybe not 6 months, but I would do a couple of months at least, I would think, to try to get an idea of what it's like to actually live there.
Right. Let's give it like a 90-day trial.
Yeah, like I've been to St. Augustine a dozen times for a week at a time, right? That doesn't mean I have the same experience of St. Augustine that TK has. TK lives there. She wakes up there every day. She works there. She goes to the store there. She banks there. She knows where the water company is. Whatever. Like, when you're vacationing somewhere, you don't know any of that because you don't have to worry about any of that. It's not living somewhere and vacationing somewhere is not the same. So if I was ever considering living in another country for any significant amount of time, I would go for a couple of months first, make sure it was somewhere where I thought I could live for an extended period of time before I just made the decision to do it. Paul says it could live just about anywhere. Well, I think if you're retirement age, I think you have more choices with that. If you're not, like in my case, I have to live if I'm going to move somewhere before retirement age, I have to have access to college football in real time. And like, these are things, you have to think about these things. Like, I can't move, like, to even Mexico. If I'm going to move to Mexico for a year or two, whatever, and I'm not, but I'm saying I would have to figure out ahead of time, okay, I need access to real-time college. I need to be able to watch the games just like I do now. How do I do that? Well, you can't get YouTube TV in Mexico. I just found that out. What can you get? I don't know. Well, what about a VPN?
Yeah.
Can I use a VPN and trick YouTube TV into thinking I'm still in Augusta, Georgia, and then I get the same YouTube TV I get here? I have no idea. I don't know. I have no clue how any of that would go. What about the internet speeds? Now, luckily, almost every country on earth has better internet than the United States. So that's not much of an issue. The internet speeds. And way cheaper, too. Way cheaper. Vic, we get ripped off here, buddy. I'm just telling you. We get ripped off here.
Yeah, I knew that it was cheaper in other countries. I didn't know it was better, too.
Yeah, cheaper and faster in most other countries. And most major cities outside the United States have free Wi-Fi everywhere you go. Parks, the street, walking down the sidewalk, whatever. It's just Wi-Fi everywhere. The whole city's covered in Wi-Fi.
Yep.
How do you do it, Vandy? How do you watch whatever? Let's say there's a college football game. The time is almost irrelevant. I understand the time difference would be a huge problem if you live on the other side of the world. Mexico would not be a problem in terms of the time difference. It would just be a matter of access to the games. So how do you do it, Vandy? Time is way different here. It's 9 p.m. Yeah, I can access my brother's DirecTV on my smart TV. Okay. So when you're watching TV, it's no different than watching TV in the United States. So like whatever, in other words, whatever's on ESPN right now for me here in Augusta, Georgia, you can watch that right now in real time too. VPN and a DirecTV app. Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess he just logs into his brother's account.
Yeah. Now, how do you watch DirecTV on a TV without a DirecTV box and all that?
You can use the you can now stream DirecTV over the internet through an app.
Oh, okay. So if you have a smart TV, it's no different than like downloading the Netflix app. You download a DirecTV app.
Right.
Okay. I got you. I will sponsor your feed, Lou. You can be on my family plan. I've always wanted to be a part of your family plan, Paul. I've always lifelong dream of mine is to be a part of Hufferbilly Paul's family plan.
Yeah. Is Miss J on the family plan?
I don't know. I'm not talking about being on his family plan. I want to be a part of his family plan. Like whatever his plan is for his family, I want to be included in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The will, that kind of thing.
Oh. Okay.
I want to be in the will. I want to be consulted, like any major decisions he makes at his elevated age. I want to be the one that can go to the hospital and tell the doctor whether to pull the plug or not. That kind of, I want to be a part of the family plan in that way.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. I think it would be ideal too. Yeah. Well, it's 10 o'clock, which means you got to get out of here. Now the Big Ten and the SEC can't even get along and agree on the playoff thing. You know what? I almost hope. I like the playoff. I don't want it. I want, I don't want it to go away. I want to keep some form of playoff. Where I only hope. I almost hope we end up just not having one because they can't agree on anything. Because the SEC and the Big Ten are at odds now. The SEC wants 5 plus 11. And the Big Ten wants the 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. And it doesn't matter what the other conferences want, but it does matter what the SEC. The SEC and the Big Ten do have to agree.
Right.
They've been given decision-making. The other conferences ceded decision-making authority to the SEC and the Big Ten. So it used to be all 10 conferences and Notre Dame had to agree on whatever the playoff structure was going to be. Now it's just the SEC and the Big Ten. That's it. They get to decide, but they have to agree, and they can't agree. They don't agree. The Big Ten wants the SEC to go to 9 games. The SEC says we're not going to 9 games unless you promise us a 7-5 Alabama team's getting in every year. They want strength of schedule to matter more than wins and losses, and they don't care about the outcomes of games. They just want to know who Vegas thinks would win next week. Just retarded shit. The SEC is fucking it up. They're fucking up. They're fucking up. Now, I don't like the 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 model either, but I like it better than 5 plus 11 and, sitting around and listening to a bunch of people explain to me why a 7-5 Oklahoma team is better than an 11-1 Illinois team. I got no interest in.
Yeah, 5. So the 5 plus 11, so that means the 5 conference champions and then 11 at-large teams.
Yeah. Basically what we have now. But now we've got 5 plus 7. Right?
Right. Yeah, if they go to 16, it will be 5 plus 11.
Yeah, they want 5 plus 11. Big Ten wants 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1. The Big Ten wants the SEC to go to 9 conference games. The SEC says they're only going to 9 conference games if they come up with a standardized strength of schedule matrix that artificially inflates the SEC. They want Bama to get credit for losing to Vandy. It's just dumb. It's dumb. That's the thing that just doesn't make any sense about the Alabama argument. They argue the Vandy loss as if it's the same as losing to Texas. You didn't lose to Texas.
Yeah, you lost to Vanderbilt.
Yeah, you beating your chest about strength of schedule. You lost to the worst team on your schedule. You didn't lose to a top 5 team. You lost to a bottom 5 team.
Yep.
I mean, it's just... It's getting so... That's why I just want the 4-4-4-4. I don't care anymore. Just I'm tired of the never-ending argument and debate, and then they did it to themselves because they only agreed to a 2-year deal. The 4-team playoff, we had 10 years of that, so we didn't have to sit around and talk about and discuss and argue new playoff formats for the first 8 years. We just got to watch the playoffs and enjoy it. And then when it got to the end of that 10-year agreement, then you got to start looking, okay, what are we going to do going forward? And they finally figured it out with the 12-team deal, but they only did a 2-year deal. And before the first 12-team playoff was ever played, they were already talking about expanding it again. And, and now they can't agree. So it's just... shout out to Golden Blue Dude. Love the guy. But it's just like right after the Texas-Oklahoma thing when it was just conference expansion video after conference expansion video, realignment, expansion, realignment, expansion, realignment, blah, 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 blah. And that's how it is with the playoffs now. 12 team, 14, 16. Go back to 4. Go back to the BCS. Automatic qualifiers, home games, auto bids, no automatic qualifiers. Get rid of the group of 5. Keep the group of 5. SEC gets 4. Big Ten gets 4. But everybody else only gets 2. And what about Notre Dame? Well, if they get in, then there's no at-large teams. I mean, it's just, if you can't explain the playoff system to a 12-year-old, that's not good for the future of college football. Very few people become college football fans in their 20s and 30s. You usually become a college football fan as a kid, and then you just continue to love it the rest of your life. If you can't explain the postseason to a 12-year-old, that's not good. And we already spent 20 minutes today talking about how stupid people are. People can't understand this. I mean, people that are hanging out on football channels in June are the top 1% in terms of like diehard college football fans. We can figure it out, no matter how complicated they make it. But what about the other 90% of people that don't pay any attention at all to college football outside of 9 or 10 Saturdays in the fall? It's just completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Get rid of the group of 5. They need their own playoff. 4 power conferences. 20 teams max. Make a rule. You can't go above 20 teams. That would give us at most 80 teams a year. Every conference sends 4 teams to the playoffs at the end of the year. I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, oh, well, what if the 5th place team in the SEC is better than the 4th place team in the Big 12? Well, then hopefully next year they won't be the 5th best team in the SEC then. Hopefully next year they'll be the 4th best team. That way they can get in. But
Yes.
you know,
Yes, so it should just be the 4 best teams from each conference.
it should be the 4 teams that finish highest in the standings in their conference. I don't know what
Right.
I don't know what it means when you say the 4 best teams, because I don't know what that means. Alabama thinks they were one of the 4
that's
best
what I
teams
meant.
last year.
Yeah,
so I don't
that's
know
what I
that
meant.
means.
4 best in the standings. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Or the way I would do it, I would crown a regular season conference champion just like college basketball does. I would then give that conference champion a bye week on conference championship Saturday, the first Saturday in December. That team wouldn't play. Who would play would be teams 2 versus team 7, team 3 versus team 6, and team 4 versus team 5. That way, the top 7 teams in every conference have a chance to make the playoffs by winning 1 game on conference championship Saturday. So if the 7th place team in the SEC thinks they're really the 3rd best team, but our schedule was harder, okay, great. You got 1 game to prove it. If that's true, you'll beat the 2nd best team in the SEC, and you'll make the playoffs.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And that gives 4 teams from each league. And then the only people that can cry then are teams that finished 8th in their conference or worse. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
You finished 8th in your conference. Don't tell me you should have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll just ignore them. Yeah. Just ignore them.
So let's say Texas goes 12-0. They win the regular season SEC championship. They're in the playoffs. Georgia's 11-1. Bama's 11-1. LSU's 10-2. Texas is 10-2.
Yes.
Tennessee's 9-3. Well, Tennessee's out because they're the 8th
Yes.
team or whatever it is. Whatever. You take 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. You play it on conference championship Saturday. The 3 winners are in the playoffs. That's it.
Yes.
All right, let's get out of here. I don't want to get mad again. I'm about to get mad again. So, but Vic, tell people where to find you tomorrow.
Yeah. You can find me on VicTube, Productions, and I do and I will do doing a live stream tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So
Yeah, and you can find me in the club with a bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X if you're into taking drugs. And you can also find me on the call-in show tonight at 9 p.m. Y'all check Vic out tomorrow at 6 over on his channel. You'll be glad you did. Vic, thanks for coming on, buddy, and good luck in the talent show. We'll get back to the talent show Monday morning with the round 2 videos. Good luck to you, Vic.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, buddy. There you go, VicTube, every Thursday morning, right here on the morning show. That was amazing. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Got a video coming up this afternoon. Looks like another prediction video today. And then the call-in show tonight at 9 p.m. Hope everybody has a good Thursday and an even better morning, too.